Today, we will see how to use sum equals sum+i inside the code. Sum equals 0. This sets the starting value of the sum variable to 0. It will store the total as we go through the numbers. Now, we can write the rest of codes in the tabular form to make a simple visualization. Same color represents same line. In the first iteration, I should be 1 and rest of the code, where we can see I, then it should also be 1. Now, we need the value of this sum. For first iteration, this sum should be 0 because at the beginning of the code, we wrote sum equals 0. It is set to 0 at the start because we are starting with nothing, and adding 0 does not change the total. Each time the loop runs, the new total replaces the old value of sum. Now, the sum of 0 and 1 should be printed, and also the updated value of sum, that means 1, is stored back into sum. In the second iteration, I should be 2 and rest of the code, where we can see I, then it should also be 2. Now, we need the value of this sum. In the second iteration, it should be 1 because after completing the first iteration, the value of sum updated from 0 to 1. Now, the sum of 1 and 2 should be printed, and also the updated value of sum, that means 3, is stored back into sum. In the third iteration, I should be 3 and rest of the code, where we can see I, then it should also be 3. Now, we need the value of this sum. In the third iteration, it should be 3 because after completing the second iteration, the value of sum updated from 1 to 3. Now, the sum of 3 and 3, that means 6, should be printed, and also the updated value of sum, that means 6, is stored back into sum. In the fourth iteration, I should be 4 and rest of the code, where we can see I, then it should also be 4. Now, we need the value of this sum. In the fourth iteration, it should be 6 because after completing the third iteration, the value of sum updated from 3 to 6. Now, the sum of 6 and 4, that means 10, should be printed, and also this updated value of sum, that means 10, is stored back into sum. In the fifth iteration, I should be 5, and rest of the code, where we can see I, then it should also be 5. Now, we need the value of this sum. In the fifth iteration, it should be 10 because after completing the fourth iteration, the value of sum updated from 6 to 10. Now, the sum of 10 and 5, that means 15, should be printed. Let's go to Jupyter Notebook. Here you can see 1, 3, 6, 10, and 15 are printed. After each iteration of the loop, the values of sum are 1, 3, 6, 10, and 15, respectively.